Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I am your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
It's good to be back, Chris. It is we took our
It is
normal
great to be back.
we took our normal week off from New Year's. Happy New Year's to everyone. We haven't been able to say it. I know it's a little late, normally past January 7th. According to Larry David.
That's the rule, the 7th?
7th, according to Larry David. It's the rule. So it is a little late, but it's the first time us talking to you guys since the new year. So happy New Year's. Hope everything went well. Hope all of your holidays were done. Now that's all taken care of, and I'm back in South Carolina. So let's get into it. We have a national championship to talk about. We had we reacted to the listings a month ago. We've now seen Washington play Texas, which was a great game. Alabama losing a overtime loss to Michigan. And finally last night, Huskies versus the Wolverines. Michigan, it's not a game pretty much the whole time. Michigan gets up early. Washington, we knew was a team that really couldn't, like, we've seen them, like, they've kind of been, if they haven't had their throwing offense going, then they don't have anything going. And that's kind of what happened. They couldn't get in rhythm. They couldn't get in sync. And Michigan just took it. Chris, your thoughts on Big Blue finally coming over the hump?
Yeah, I mean, they're insufferable people, so I did not try to stay out of the college football social media today. But, yeah, I mean, when they got up, what was it, 14-3, they scored first and then give a field goal, scored again. And a team that's that good running the football, like, once they get up by that much, it feels like the game's over.
Mm-hmm.
There was, like, the illusion that it was a game going into the fourth quarter, but it was just sloppy. Like, on both ends.
Yeah.
Penix was bad. He was missing guys. And he was under a lot of pressure. I don't want to take away too much from the Michigan's defense, which is the best in the country. I think that's pretty clear after last night and even before last night. But even on plays where he did have time to throw, he was missing guys, like, right from the start. And you just kind of knew that something was off, and they were going to have to get lucky and rip off a couple big plays. And the one big play that they did hit on got called back for a holding on the one drive when they were down a touchdown. So just, like, it was so many missed chances in a game where you're clearly the worst team. You've got basically the only advantage you have is at quarterback. But holy crap, was Penix under arrest the whole night.
Yeah,
so
they gave
credit to
him
Michigan.
No time.
They won this game just like they won almost every other game that they played this year, which is just dominate in the trenches. JJ McCarthy's getting made fun of, and, like, I'm the first to hop in on that. I called him a little boy last year, which I still think he is, and I think it's ridiculous that he might be a first-round pick, but he didn't do anything wrong. Like, you don't turn the ball over, and they just control the rock. And it's old school, but it works for them. They're like 40-3 in the last 3 years with the national title, so you can't argue with it. And it's not fun to watch. That game sucked, but what they made Washington look like is what they've made every good team that they've played look like. So, congrats them, I guess.
This was a game that it felt like Michigan had to get established their style of play early. If they let Washington establish their style of play and this became a shootout, it seemed like that was the only way Washington could have possibly won. But as you said, JJ McCarthy ended with 10 completions for 140 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He did the
same thing against Penn State. Like, if you look at that box score, it was almost the same game. I think McCarthy completed like 6 passes in that game, and they won by 9 on the road.
Yeah, he completed
7.
7 of 8.
7 for 8 with 60 yards. And then you look at Corum, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But it's like, it's just what they do. They did the same thing to Maryland. They got up right away, and then it's like they didn't look that great. And Maryland scored on them a couple times, but every time there was a drive that could have let Maryland really get back in the game or tie the game, they got to stop. That's exactly what they did last night. And yes, I'm sure the refs were a little bit lopsided, but that didn't completely alter the game.
No, it didn't completely alter the game. There was a couple egregious calls and non-calls for Michigan, but it Washington players didn't help themselves. They were dropping balls left and right. They were
Mm-hmm.
not getting open, not getting the right plays. Um, but my question is, like, what is going into the NFL? What is Blake Corum? Is he gonna like? Is he gonna be like a fourth rounder, third rounder? Like, I have no idea what
It's a
this
great
guy's stock
question.
is. Is he going to be a first rounder? I could see
I
anywhere
mean,
in
but
between.
we had running backs get drafted early this year, but Corum's more of like a just give it to him 30 times a game type of guy, like a
Yeah,
Henry
he's
or
not a pass catcher.
Chubb.
He's not a pass catcher at all. Um,
Yeah, so I don't know. I doubt he's a first rounder, which does seem insane. Like if you told somebody 20 years ago
yeah,
that
that
like
this guy
put
wouldn't be
on
a
that
first.
tape and you're like, this guy, yeah, he's like a second or third rounder in today's NFL. They'd be like, we talking about the same sport?
Yeah, yeah,
That doesn't
yeah.
make any sense. He just put the team on his back. Him and the other guy,
Edwards.
Donovan Edwards. Yeah,
Yeah,
that dude has some burners.
two 40-yard touchdowns for Donovan Edwards.
Yeah,
And
I mean the
because
one like he wasn't even touched.
yeah, Edwards fast. So I'm fascinated to see where he goes in today's NFL, and if it's not him in the first round, will there be any running backs in the first round? I guess it's we got a long way
I don't
from
know.
kickoff.
I'd have to look at the. I've been locked in on the quarterbacks in the top 10.
We're
Outside of
not
that,
worried about a
pretty
running back at
uneducated.
all. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah. Running back is the least of our worries.
yeah, that's true. But I am fascinated to see
It's
because
every other position.
feel like if a team like if a good running team already like a team that needs a running game gets him, he could be like why can't he be Najee Harris, right? Give him 20, 25 carries a
Yeah,
game, see what he does, type deal. Um, all
yeah.
right.
Or like imagine the Ravens with him.
Oh, that would be insane. That would be
I mean,
absolutely
he'd get
insane.
hurt right away.
Yeah, he would never
Be a
play a
bummer.
full season. He would never play a full season.
Houston. Houston could use a bell cow back,
It's funny. They're
right?
yeah, no, because their running backs are like pretty irrelevant. It's Devin
Yeah.
Singletary and Damian Pierce, who
And Harris.
had a good first year.
Pierce, right?
Yeah.
Harris was your guy.
All right. I mean, I feel bad for Michael Penix. Uh, Lights were too bright
Yeah.
on a stage like that. Do you think this affects his draft stock a lot? It's got to, right?
I would think so. Cause I remember thinking going to the game that this dude could become a top 10 pick if he wins the Sugar Bowl and then wins the national championship.
Yeah, if he
And then
threw for
after that, like
350 yards.
it kind of clearly shows that when he's going up against like NFL talent on defense, not the same guy. But it also does like it shows the importance of having good protection and like this was the most elite defense in the country. So I don't want to trash on him too much, but yeah, he was not good.
Well, and time again, we come back to these championship games and we look at it's all about the trenches, the big boys up front. It's about the D
Mm,
line and the offensive line.
yep.
Can you push back the D line? Can you have your quarterback be protected? Because Washington had the wide receivers, they had the quarterback, they had
Mm.
they had the corners and the defense too, but they did not have the offensive line to keep up with the bigger boys in the Big Ten. That does it for the Pac-12 officially. Officially,
Yeah.
no more
Isn't that
Pac-12
sad?
patches. It is sad.
That's how they go out.
Yep.
At least they made a natty. Like
Yeah, at least they
it
were
would have
in
been
it.
nice to win one on the way out, but
Yeah, at least they were in
I
it.
wonder, do Washington and Michigan play each other next year?
Is
They might
Washington
with
now in
the
the
new
Big Ten?
schedule. They are. That was a
Oh, really?
Big Ten national championship.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at Big Ten.
So we can check real quick. I know Maryland's got Oregon and USC next year. Oh, Michigan plays Texas next year.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
This is very far in advance. They do. They play at Washington Saturday, October 5th.
The rematch.
Mark your calendars. Yeah.
Is Jim Harbaugh there? Or John? Jim?
I don't think so.
Jim.
Jim. John's Ravens.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Jim's-
think, yeah,
Jim's
while
not
we're
there.
on that, I think I was thinking earlier, I'm like, why would this guy leave Michigan? Like, I just said that what his record is over the past 3 years. They just won 15-0 and won a national championship. He's also been suspended twice this year, and I don't think either investigation is closed. So I think he just wants to get the hell out so he doesn't have to deal with the NCAA anymore.
That would make sense.
Especially after winning one, he's probably like, all right, I accomplished my goal. I love Michigan, but I hate the NCAA. Let's go to the NFL where Adele will let me do anything I want.
Yeah.
And like, you're allowed to pay players in the NFL. So,
Yeah, and that's like, yeah, I think you're right. Where I mean, we can speculate all day long about where he's gonna go, but we have no actual sources. Do you think he's possible Washington?
he's, yeah, I think they reached out already to his agent. I think he'll do an interview if he accepts an interview at least. I've heard that he wants to be the West Coast, so there's Vegas and LA that are open right now. But I guess it's possible. I don't know how I feel about it. I like him. I don't know if it's more of the circus though that it'll bring.
Yeah, no, that it could definitely bring a circus, especially you get Harbaugh and maybe Caleb Williams, Drake May. There's going to be a lot of headlines on Washington. But we have plenty of time to talk about off season, and we will later.
Before we move on, did you see the tweet about it was a clip from some article in the Athletic about how everybody in college football cheats, and
unless you're Vanderbilt,
unless you're Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt who sucks, it's like if you're winning, you're cheating, and if not, then you're losing or you're Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt does it the right way.
Funny. Poor Vanderbilt.
I wanna address some comments that we have. First, shout out.
Oh.
I'm riding Caleb Morris's parlay. He said Killian A is under 10 points. But we also just got from Lotada Nassau, which is an island in Jamaica, or on Jamaica, a resort in Jamaica. And he just commented Nassau, which is just like a place in Jamaica. So, thank you.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out for the one of the islands in the Bahamas. Cool.
Those are
All right, but that's a secret way of transitioning past the national championship on to the NFL Week 18. We have some wise picks that we need to break down. We didn't break them down live. And how did that result? The science experiment of the week. Not good for me. I need to do
well for me. Good for you.
You need to do them off air.
I think we're the opposite.
Yeah, you need to do them off air.
Because last time we did them on air, I was 0-3.
Yeah, I need to do them on air.
I don't know. I don't know what the psychology behind that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Stark difference.
So
we had a Wise Bowl for the first time in a while.
We did have a Wise Bowl, and Chris ended up taking the Wise Bowl. I really had faith in the Bears.
Faith in the Bears.
Overall stats, Chris was a 29, 23, and 2. You won the year. We still, well, I mean, are we doing wild card weekend, right? We can still make picks.
We can do wild card weekend. I have to go. You'd have to go 3-0.
Okay, so that's for the chip. Like it's like redemption in Palm.
But this is redemption. But I want to be on the record and say I care more about the team.
Yeah. So do I.
Was over 500.
So do I. I was 26, 26.
Well, of course you do, because
and
My
2.
picks make you look better.
I was 26, 26, and 2. They call me Even Steven. Um,
Like
overall,
Jerry Seinfeld.
yeah, just like Jerry Seinfeld. Overall, 55, 49, and 4. Give it up to the wise guys. 5 over 500. And, 4 are pushes.
Build it a profit.
Yeah, we got a profit.
Do the math. Build it a
Um,
profit. All you
so,
can ask for.
for last week's picks, Chris went 3-0. Go ahead and take the reins on your picks. Since you went 3-0.
We can save the Wise Bowl for last. I took Titans plus 3.5 against the Jags. I don't know what happened here.
The
This Jaguars
Jaguars,
team, man. Like, what an implosion.
they started
Everyone's like focused on the Eagles imploding, but like, holy crap, did this team melt down?
8-3, ended the season 1-5 to miss the playoffs completely. They were
And
just
not a great division.
no. They had the division
Like, the Texans
basically
won the
locked
division
up.
now at what, 2 and
9
7,
9 and
right?
8, 9 and 8, or were they 10 and 7?
Oh, they had a tiebreak?
Sorry,
No, I think
10 and 7.
they
10
were
and
10
7.
and 7.
You're right.
But like, they just got gashed in the run on Sunday by the Titans.
No,
Like, focusing on this game specifically, it was embarrassing.
it was embarrassing.
To a team that's like just completely dead in the water, like has nothing to play for. They fired their coach today for some reason,
Yes, that we will.
and
Talk
like
about.
they could not stop anything.
Man, this Jaguars team, it has everything you would want on a football team. Maybe it's is it this has to be some it's got to be Peterson, right? It's got to be some version of Peterson and coordinators and something like that. Like cuz it seems like they have the
I don't
players
know, because I
on
don't like
say again.
Trevor hadn't been right since the Bengals game.
Uh-huh.
He got hurt.
Mhm.
Did he get hurt the week before and then played through? Either way, I don't think he's been right since then. I think he should shut
Wait,
him out
yeah,
for a
okay.
few weeks.
Let me stop you for a second cuz you're getting all robotic-y. Let me see if
Oh,
I can try to
sorry.
change that. No, it's not your fault. I think it's saying my frames are dropping. I don't know. But okay, I think we're good. But to your point, as what you're saying, they could have back when we got reports. We got literal reports that he had a high ankle sprain on the field. If they just took the next 2 games to bench him and sacrifice those 2 games, I don't think they're in this
Mhm.
mess. I don't think
And it
they.
was like every week it was like, we don't know if he's gonna play, and then they would just throw him out there.
Yeah, it's like maybe he shouldn't have
And it's
played.
like this dude is in his 3rd year in the league. Was a generational prospect, and like they're in the driver's seat for the division this year. Like nothing is going wrong right now, and now you're forcing him to play with an injury. And I'm sure he wanted to play, but like
Mm-hmm.
have a little bit of foresight. And then like I'm sure he's fine now, but like it could have been worse. Like you could have lost him for the rest of the year.
Well, and even if he wasn't
I think
even if
much
he's
worse than what
fine
happened
now,
now.
yeah, no, and even if he was fine, he's not. He's clearly wasn't fine on the field. He clearly wasn't the same player.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, through so many interceptions the last couple weeks, and like there was one this week that wasn't his fault. The other one was egregious. But it's like every game he's got 2 or 3 picks.
yeah, and they haven't they have to go away from the running game because they're down by so much. It's a mess. It's a coaching
Mhm.
malpractice, honestly.
Yeah, but I don't like. I still believe in them in the future. I think, but
Yeah, I
uh,
was listening
I
to
don't. It's
Bill.
hard to. It's tough to explain.
I was listening to Bill
It's really tough
Simmons,
to explain.
and he was going through it. Like, would you? This was a question he asked to cousin Sal on this pod. Would you, as a Redskins fan, take the number 2 pick for Trevor Lawrence? Straight up, nothing else in it.
That's a good question.
right?
I feel like I would,
I feel like I would too. And
right?
because at least you get the known product. You know Trevor Lawrence can be good.
Yeah.
Did you see? Okay, I sent you something on Twitter, which also comes to this discussion. See if this will load. Pull it up myself, but it is a CBS report, and it's the stats comparisons between the first 3 years of Trevor Lawrence and the first 3 years of Mac Jones. So, oh come on, why won't this? Why is this taking forever?
Yeah, if you were to do like a blind resume on that, look at those two numbers.
So the blind resume, yeah, the numbers. Oh, you sent it to me. You said yikes.
Hmm?
Trevor Lawrence, his win loss percentage is 20 to 30, where Mac Jones is 18 to 24. Passer rating, Mac Jones has him by 0.8. But this is what I would care about. His touchdown to interception ratio is 58 to 39 compared to 46 to 36. His completion percentage is a little bit lower, but his yards per game is higher. His yards per attempt is actually 0.1 lower. That's not. I still think Trevor. Like this is. It's funny to look at these numbers and to see it. Like wow, I can't believe that's the two quarterbacks. One was picked 1 and one was picked 15 in the same draft. But I still like this. This doesn't make me think Mac Jones is as good as Trevor Lawrence or vice versa.
Also, like, I think if you eliminate their rookie seasons, I think those numbers change a lot.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean
Mac
Trevor
Jones had a
Lawrence
pretty
lost
good rookie
15.
year.
Yeah,
The
and Trevor.
Jaguars were awful.
Yeah, I agree. It definitely evens
They
out the win
they got
percentages.
drafted into completely different situations. The two teams have been trending in different directions.
The whole time.
But yeah, the whole time. So I'm curious to see what it looks like if you get rid of the rookie years. But
I would like to know that number too.
it is shocking to see those numbers. But Mac, like this year has been
Oh,
atrocity.
he got benched 4 times for Bailey Zappi. Terrible. All right, this
Who
pick.
played this weekend? I didn't even watch the game.
Oh, they played Zappi. Mac Jones was the 3rd string actually. He was the emergency quarterback.
Maybe the backup.
No, the backup was some guy named Roke. Caleb Rock or whatever. I don't know. Some Jaguars practice squad. It says you. I don't know if it's me or you, but one of us has terrible connection. My internet's fine, so I don't know what the issue is. But my OBS in specific.
Mine says fine. I can jump over to my hotspot. I think that would be helpful.
It might be. My OBS. All right, well now my OBS is disconnecting. It's just OBS for some reason. My computer's perfectly fine. My OBS is reconnected.
We take 30 seconds here to switch.
Nah, I mean let's. Oh. Duh. I don't think it was you.
No.
But if it works, it works. Yeah, because it's funny. It said it reconnected, and then now it's perfectly fine again. Oh well. Let's move on. A game. I don't even know why you picked, but it hit. Raiders minus
The
3.
Raiders?
Yeah, I didn't even know who they were playing when you sent it. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
I mean, the Broncos are trash.
Yeah, the Broncos are terrible.
I like Antonio Pierce as coach.
You love Antonio Pierce, and you
was
love
really all
Aiden
there was to
O'Connell.
it. I was like, I don't know how could the Broncos possibly beat this team? I felt Russell debacle and the Raiders like to play for the guy. That was my thinking.
It worked out.
And it worked.
Yeah, it was a perfect thing.
Not much else to say. I didn't watch this one. It didn't matter.
No, this game.
The fact that both these teams finished 8-9 though is kind of surprising for how poor my perception is of them.
Well, and how
which just
bad
like
they both were at the
makes the
beginning of the
Russ
year.
thing so more ridiculous. Yeah, like this Broncos team was in a playoff spot 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and that's when they decided to bench Russ 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Weird as hell.
ridiculous. I
Um,
think this Raiders are frisky. I don't know. One of the more curious off seasons
it'll be
in the
interesting to see
NFL
what they
because I don't know
do.
where you go from here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
I don't know why they wouldn't keep Pierce around.
No, they need to have him at
That's
least
the
as
move.
like, yeah, I think you keep him as a coach. You keep him as the coach,
I don't think he's not taking anything less than head coach.
right?
Like just give him the job, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think. I
I
feel
would.
like you never see it, but if there's ever a time keep an interim head coach around, like this is the dude.
Do they ever keep interim head coaches anymore? I feel like I haven't seen them keep an interim head
Really?
coach in a long time. Devontae Adams, was that his last Raiders game? That's the only thing interesting to say about this team.
Yeah, maybe. That's
Did you
Aiden
see?
O'Connell. Is he the quarterback next year?
Did you see? No, no. They take.
No.
They at least
Who
if
is then?
um they take.
Picks?
Ugh, ugh. I think it depends where
And
Jane
they're picking
Daniels
mid
goes.
first round.
Depends where Jane Daniels goes.
Oh, they'd have to trade up to get him. He'd be a cool Raider though.
He would be a sweet Raider. I don't know how. I honestly don't know who I want the Pats to draft. It's kind of gotten to the point where I don't like any of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, you either like them, you start liking them all, and then you hate them all.
Yeah, yeah.
Then whoever you get, you're excited about, and that's there's
Um,
no point in even like
that's
having
true.
any opinion. But
That's actually a great
not
point.
how we're
You
wired, of course.
you do your research after, so then you could just back up who they took. Oh, this is my
Yeah,
guy.
and you only look. We don't have to make picks. There's no reason for us to have an opinion. It's not our choice. But also not our role as fans.
Yeah, that's not what we do either.
We will scrutinize and we will not admit.
Yeah, it's true. All right, let's move on from this game. Last one, the Wise Bowl. Let me defend my Wise Bowl pick since you won the Wise Bowl. I thought the Packers defense was trash. I thought the Bears were trending up. I thought it was gonna be very similar to the Lions last year, where it's like they had a rough season, but towards the end they kind of figured it out. They beat the Packers in Week 18 to keep them out of the playoffs. And it's like, oh, kumbaya over in Chicago. But and like I thought they figured
Never
out Fields.
buy on Chicago.
No, I thought they figured out Fields. I was like, oh, they got their guy. They're gonna trade down on the number one pick. Everyone's talking about it. Nope. 1 week goes by and now Fields is gone again. Um, I don't know. I felt like their defense was on the up and up, but I underestimated how little they probably cared about that game. So, all right, to move on to, we were talking about the Bears, talking about why I ended up picking the Bears. It ended up not working out to my fruition. The Packers are now in the playoffs. Are they frisky?
It'd be risky. I like Jordan Love. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, he
And
gets
the problem with him is like you don't know which one you're gonna get. But the second half of the year, we've been a lot more good than bad with him. Like he made a big throw last week. 84% completion. That's insane. With like not insane weapons against defense who actually was trending upwards. So, I don't know. I don't know how it goes fast us against that defense, but I don't think I want to play them. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I muted my mic. But
This is a great episode.
this is a great episode. It's a we're back episode. We're getting through all the freaking pains of
It's
OVO.
a more back episode.
We just reconnect. We just connected again, by the way. I'm just gonna stop streaming
Okay.
and just not deal with
I'll take
that. And
down
hopefully that helps out on your internet side too. Just cut this shit up. Post to this freaking YouTube. All right. You know, that last stoppage was 2 freaking minutes ago. 2 minutes.
What?
Our last stoppage was 2 minutes ago. It lasted 2 minutes.
Reason.
All right. Back. You were talking about Jordan Love. Doesn't have he has young weapons on this squad. He doesn't have his 1-2 punch in Aaron Jones and the guy with the big quads. Quad Dylan. Yeah.
Jones was good though. It was like old Aaron Jones.
Yeah, he was.
I feel like we haven't seen much of that this year.
I agree.
I forget how dynamic he can be.
Yeah, I feel like they haven't used him a lot this year.
Yeah, well, he's been banged up, right? Like, I think he's missed a lot of games.
Yeah, he's definitely missed some games.
And Dylan's Dylan just is not exciting. He's like 3 yards per carry guy.
Yeah, Dylan's
like,
lame as hell.
Make that any play. Like, he's got big quads. That's about it.
But he's throwing a Jalen Reed, which is a rookie. Dontavin Wicks and Tucker Kraft, Luke Musgrave, also rookies. He's throwing a 4
Bo
rookies.
Melton. I thought
Melton
was like Montgomery. I saw him.
Yeah, he was in the back.
He's like lining up in the back. I'm like, what?
Who is that guy?
I don't know. These guys are like not real.
He went to Rutgers. 24 years old. Went to Rutgers.
No. Yeah, last year.
All right. So that was the Wise Bowl. Didn't end up in my favor. Look, I mean, going forward, I think who the Packers matched up against? They got the Cowboys. Oh, historic.
Yep.
Mike McCarthy.
Sunday at 4 game.
Mike McCarthy facing his old team. Historic playoff matchup. That'll be a good game. That'll be a fun game. Hopefully,
I'm excited.
Hopefully, we get a good Jordan Love.
Could be a classic Cowboys joke.
It could be a classic Cowboys joke.
Think about that. The Rodgers game at Dallas. Throw to Jared Cook at the end, and then Crosby hit the field goal.
Oh, and the Dez didn't catch it game.
That game was in Dallas. The Dez game was at Lambeau.
Oh, that's true.
But yes, that was.
I hope we get to see.
I guess that was the more famous too.
I hope we get to see the good side of Jordan Love because this could get ugly quick.
I do too.
This Cowboys defense is fast,
and I don't trust this Packers defense either.
Their defense is terrible, and the fact that Dak is at home,
and
he'll be on.
The Bears moved the ball against them.
Yeah,
they just could not finish drive. Like anytime they had a decent drive going, it was just sack. It felt like the whole
classic.
Time.
Seems like classic.
It was tough to watch. It was like Fields making a nice play. Like, I just busted off a nice run, and then it's like 3rd and 5 from the 30, and it's lost. Like shit. Well, there goes that. That was every drive. They couldn't get in the end zone. But point is, I don't trust this defense at all, even after only giving up 9 points. Like the body of work is not there, and especially against one of the best.
No, and they made Tommy DeVito look good.
Bryce Young
and Tommy DeVito made both them good.
Baker had like the best game of his life.
Yeah. This team has let up a lot of good or bad quarterbacks. Let them do a lot. My picks.
Like Jordan Love, I like Jordan Love. I don't think he's like if you get into a shootout, I don't think he'll try. He's not on that level yet.
No, and his wide receivers.
If it turns into a track meet, they're done.
No, yeah, and his wide receivers aren't ready for that either. He's way too young of pass catchers. You know, they're the youngest team to make playoffs. Like average age wise.
That's not surprising, I guess. Like ever or this year?
I think ever. And that's got to be. There was a lot of talk early in the season.
Sucks for the NFC North.
What do you mean? Because the Packers will never be away. Yeah, that they'll never go away.
Yeah. Somehow they just rebuilded while
shout out
in the playoffs 1 year.
Shout out LaFleur. There was a lot. He was on the hot seat for a little bit this season. and I didn't really get why. He's done nothing but win in Green Bay, and it seems
Mhm.
like switching the quarterback didn't do much, and here they are back in the playoffs.
I mean, they didn't make the playoffs last year, and they did this
Yep,
year.
yep.
Easy math.
Yeah. I was gonna say something about Jimmy Kimmel, but I couldn't be witty quick enough. Um, my two picks that we haven't talked about. I'm just gonna get the loser out of the way. Actually, it's my team. I'll talk a little bit more. I'll get the winner out of the way then. Giants plus 5.5. Eagles are trash.
Woof.
I mean, the worst. Like it couldn't. There was. I knew that the Giants were gonna keep it close because they did on Christmas when the game did matter, and now it kind of really didn't matter for the Eagles, because they knew the Cowboys were gonna beat your team.
Mhm.
But I didn't think the Giants would just stomp them, like absolute
No,
whooping.
this is embarrassing. And
They
Hurts dislocated his finger too.
He hurt his finger.
He did get
AJ
a lot of
Brown got
Mariota.
hurt. They had to see Mariota. If nothing is going right in Philadelphia for the Eagles. Nobody feels bad, but but it is funny. We were complaining, like we sat on this podcast, and I brought up my roommate Mike, who is probably week 4, maybe week 5, all the way until week like 11 when they finally lost, where they kept winning these games, and he was like, "I just don't feel good about this team, man. Don't feel good." And
No,
like,
I don't think anyone did.
and no, and then we were like, but we came on this podcast. It was like, they're just bitching to bitch. They keep winning these games. Like, who
Yeah.
cares if they're close? Clearly it
They're
matters.
the Vikings of last year.
They are the Vikings of last year, and yeah, I saw a thing. It was like 1-score games. If they were flipped, they were like 3-13 or something insane.
That's a classic.
I love
Fine.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
But
That was like the Padres in baseball last year were like 2-17 in one run or extra inning games.
so they're like, they're gonna be good in the playoffs because if they just win those games,
Yeah,
then they're
they
gonna
didn't
be
make
bad.
them.
Maybe because they were 2-17 in 1-score games.
Yeah, right.
So
But yeah, this is complete implosion.
also, I have to say, do Giants fans think that they're getting a quarterback?
I don't know what they think. This is another just like perfect end of the season for the Giants. Like you just crushed your draft stock.
Yep.
No answer to quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Your defensive coordinator just left because guys are incompetent. Like what's the game plan here? I'm fascinated. I hope they don't get like Jane Daniels though.
What pick? I need
I
to
hope
see
they
this.
get
I need to see
McCarthy
this draft order.
or Bo Nix. Bo Nix is such a giant.
Well, they have Daniel Jones for $40 million a year. They're not taking a
I
quarterback
know.
in the
I
first
know.
round.
But
They're
he
not
didn't
doing
get a
it.
fair shot this year.
No, he didn't. He only
He
played
was
like
hurt pretty
3
quickly.
games. Yeah, he's not. They're not taking a quarterback in the first round. I'm telling you that right now. Not gonna happen.
Just take a wide receiver.
They'll take a wide receiver.
We'll
So
take Neighbors probably.
they have the 6th pick. Yeah, they'll take the guy, him or
They can get
or
Neighbors.
Roman
Or like Alt or
Roma.
Duzier.
Yeah, Roma Duzier. That guy's awesome.
You take a tackle. He is awesome.
They could take a tackle, but I feel like they've been taking tackles for like the past 5 drafts.
They have.
So just take a wide receiver, man. That's not Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll work.
I love looking at some of these, like why the Giants want to win against the Pats. They're at the 10th pick now.
What?
I'm just I'm just looking at some of these teams and like Atlanta, 8 pick, classic. Bears 9, like makes sense. Broncos and I guess the Broncos and Raiders, it didn't matter again because they were facing each other, and the Raiders like some of these teams have won. That's won too many games, and I just don't understand why they would ever want to position themselves to do that. I guess the Giants could have had a top 5 pick if they lost.
No.
Weird teams.
They finished with 5 or 6 wins.
They ended up with 6. Oh well.
Not for Tommy Vita, they would be in the top 5.
Yeah. If he didn't win 3 games in a row, they're the 3rd pick right now. Okay, but Tyrod Taylor almost like when he's out there, they almost look the best. They almost look the best when Tyrod's out there. Okay, let's go on to the Pats. Pats was Belichick's quote unquote I just want the Belichick shit to be over with, man. To be over with.
You want rumors to be over with.
Yes, I want the discussion about it to be over with. It's so annoying. I don't think uh I don't think he's getting fired. I don't think they're moving on from him. Seems like it's up in the air. It seems like he's down to get rid of the GM control. I know it's a big story and everyone wants to make a big story. But he's not going out losing to the Jets in the cold while they're doing snow angels on our home stadium. It's not how Bill Belichick. That's not how this story rides out.
The Jets did snow angels?
Yeah, after their last touchdown, doing snow angels on our home turf. I mean, I picked them just because I thought Belichick was going to will them into a win. I forgot that Bailey Zappi is the quarterback of the New England Patriots.
Taking them like a few weeks in a row.
Yeah, I did. Well, it worked out last week. It worked out the past 2 weeks,
The last
actually.
2 weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say it worked out the past 2 weeks.
Can't be favorites.
No, I got a little excited that they were favorites too. It shouldn't have. I got way too homered. And I just yeah. But I am just happy I will never have to see Bailey Zappi play New England football ever again. Hopefully.
I don't think him and Harrison is the dream duo.
Dude, I kind of want Harrison.
He seems happy with the wide receiver one.
That's true. It's true. Hell, dude, I'd take Marvin Harrison probably. That's kind of where I'm leaning. Just want the wide receiver, man.
Okay. You're taking the quarterback.
I know we're gonna take a quarterback. Yeah, I know.
Expectations shifted.
But we haven't had a wide receiver in like 7 years. Anyone can play quarterback in this league.
I think you're 4-13 because
we don't have a quarterback.
Imaginatively happy, but like.
Yeah, but those guys didn't
help.
No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help. They have like no line and no. They definitely had no line in this game. They have like no line and no wide receivers all year. So like, part of me just wants to see some guy who can get some fucking separation. It's been 7 years. Can we see one guy can make separation? And I saw a thing. No, wait.
Juju.
Yeah, loved Juju. And like I saw a thing on Twitter where it was a repost. Garrett Wilson is apparently frustrated with the Jets, and it was like, "This is why you don't take a wide receiver before you get your quarterback established." It's like you're just a loser, bro. That's a loser talk.
They also did get quarterback.
Yeah, they did do that, and
like for all the crap that the Jets get, like a lot of it's deserved, but their play at quarterback did go down after 4 plays. What are you gonna do?
Oh yeah. But and the other thing is like they established he won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and they didn't have a quarterback. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's what I want to see. I don't care if he throws 5-yard passes.
Lawrence
to
had
him.
4 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
With nobody.
Yes.
Nobody worth anything quarterback.
We even had 1 1,000-yard receiver in 4 years. I swear to God, I don't think the Pats have had a 1,000-yard receiver in 4 years. Last 1,000-yard receiver was Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
I don't think we've had like last 1,000-yard receiver it had to have been Julian Edelman. Back in 2018.
Long time.
Or maybe it was 2020. 2019. That's what it is. Julian Edelman. Jesus Christ. It's embarrassing. That's terrible. That is terrible. When you look at their history, I'm looking at all their 1,000-yard receivers right now. Um, not a lot. Not a lot of guys.
What you got? Like Gronk, Welker, Randy Moss, Young Branch, probably.
Oh, maybe they're just
Tillman.
they might just be wide receivers. Yeah. These are just wide receivers.
Yeah, so
So
Gronk's
they
not
don't.
on
So
there.
Gronk's not on there. But yeah,
Who did I miss from like century?
the only one you missed was Cooks had 1,000 yards. He had 1,100.
Okay.
Um, Troy Brown. It's weird. This
Okay. That's
team's weird.
a little before my time.
Yeah. That was the beginning of the dynasty. Now we're just looking at Pats. No one cares about this, but that's why I want Marvin Harrison. Like, if I know the quarterback matters, but the quarterback matters when you have a wide receiver and offensive line. That's when the quarterback matters. The quarterback doesn't matter when you don't have those guys. So I don't want.
I mean, look
I
at
don't
Mahomes this year.
exactly. I don't want Drake May out there running around getting his head knocked off every week when he has no one to throw to, or Caleb Williams, same thing. And then it becomes the pressure of, oh, the quarterback's not getting any wins. Is the quarterback any good? And we do this whole same goddamn cycle over again. And that's I just don't want to. I don't want. I just don't even want to deal with any of the drama of having a rookie quarterback.
I know. No, I completely understand, and I'm in the same boat. I think what I want to do is I want to do what the Texans did last year, and I want to get my quarterback at 2, and then I want to
trade
trade
up at
up,
3.
and I want to get
Get Marvin
one of
Harrison.
those big boys.
Oh
tackle.
yeah.
No, not even Harrison. I want to tackle.
Yeah,
I'm fine with McLaurin and Dotson. That's okay. They also have money. Like, you could transform this offense overnight. Sorry, I just completely shifted it to my team.
You're good. No, you're totally fine.
That's what I would want to do.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. We are in when it comes to the draft calendar, we are at the exact spot where the quarterbacks are at the highest. Everyone thinks the top 3 are going to be quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's true.
And everyone thinks
They,
in the first round, and it's very possible. It's very possible. But every year around this time, this is when we start talking about the quarterbacks, and the national championship just happened, so it's all about the quarterbacks, and everyone thinks that they're going to be top 3. And if the Bears are in, then I guess it will be. Most likely it will be, because when you look at the teams up there, their biggest.
And I don't think they're taking Harrison at 1.
No, I think even if they
Like,
don't,
when
if they don't
that
take a
you could
quarterback,
flip that pick
that's exactly
and not go that far down, like, you're trading 1 to a team who's going to take a quarterback.
Yes.
Like, what's stopping them from moving? I saw a mock draft where they traded down to 2 with the Commanders,
and then down to 3
and
again.
traded 2 to the Pats.
Yeah.
And then took Harrison at 3.
Yeah, I saw that. I would be so pissed if the Pats
I don't
did
know
that.
how realistic that is.
No, I would be like, what are you doing? Because what are you doing? Trading up 1 spot for a team that's not going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, but they could just be like,
yeah, they're going
to
to
know what they're going to do.
Yes,
Maybe
yes.
they do plan on. Maybe they like Caleb Williams. They like Drake May more, so that they don't get shat on for not taking him for taking him over Caleb. They just flip and they go down to number 2. Then you're stuck with Jade Daniel, who I kind of like better than Drake May, but that's.
I don't know which one of these guys I like. I don't like any of them. But
I like Caleb.
Yeah, we have plenty of time.
Actually, I love Caleb.
We have plenty of time to do all of this. Which I'm very excited about. This is going to be a very exciting offseason for the Wise guys. And
oh yeah, we got a lot of money. We got high draft picks.
Yep, and we're fighting for the same coaches, the same players, the same free agents eventually.
Same coaches. You still have your coach
now, according to the sources.
And as of right now, the 49ers assistant GM is being wined and dined by Josh Harris. Throw that out there, Adam Peters.
Okay, yeah. What's up with your GM? You guys got the Warriors GM, right?
Yeah, not to make football decisions. He's going to be an advisor on like how to structure the front office. And I think Josh Harris is just trying to surround himself with like winners.
Mhm.
That's why he brought on Magic. That's why he's bringing on Bob Myers.
They have a better
So
off front
Myers,
office than the Wizards.
the Wizards hired a good front office. They have basketball people. I don't want to hear disrespect on Dawkins and Michael Winger. Those
Okay.
guys know what they're doing.
That's true. That's true. I
Um,
forgot that they got a new front office, but they could
Yeah.
use Bob Myers. I'll tell you that.
Yes, no, I would. Maybe he'll help Josh Harris, and then he'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna go help Ted.
Yeah, just
I'm
go
gonna go build a.
go right down the road.
Okay, but the one thing about Myers is like, you got Curry at like the 7th pick. Like, is that how much credit does he deserve? The rings
Yeah.
with Durant, and that's because he's Durant. Like, you struck gold with Curry and Clay in the draft, and Draymond was a second rounder. Like, I think it's more luck than people are willing to admit. And that doesn't mean that he's not a good GM, that he surrounded them with exact guys that they needed to play with. But I'm just saying, like, it's
That
not. I don't think
that was a take I was not expecting.
the second coming of Christ. I mean, like, am I? Is he not? Like, he's like Jerry Krause.
No, yeah, I guess so.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, he's a good executive, but like, did you really think that he was like, if he thought that Steph Curry was going to be Steph Curry, he would have traded up to number 1 and taken it,
Yeah, I guess you're right.
regardless of what it costs. So, like, and he's on my team now, so I don't want to rip on him. And he's not even really on my team. Like, he's just a consultant. But I was hearing a little bit too much praise for this guy. It's like, all right, it's Curry is why you have 4 rings. Anyway, so he's on the consulting committee with Rick Spielman, who was the GM of the Vikings for a while, and they're gonna help Harris and ownership with the interviews and just like the overall structure. So what Myers will do is just like basically advise him on like the organization of the front office so that they can build something that is sustainable. That's all that he's going to do, I think. He's an NBA guy. What does he know about football?
Yeah, that's what I mean, makes sense. That would make sense. They oh shit, I don't know what I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean, is this Valve confidence for you coming in? I mean, I guess you have no idea what the hell they're gonna do, but
So excited. This is the most excited I've been in years. It's so sad that like the most excited I've been in forever is after a 38-10 loss in a 4-13 season. But it's like it does feel like we're reborn. You know,
you have.
it's complete clean slate.
I was just gonna say
It's
everything's
front
new.
office, new owner from the start, new front office, new coach, new quarterback. So much cap space. Like this is going to be an overhaul like you've never seen before in the NFL. It's insane. So, yes, I'm excited.
I can tell. Let's get into some teams that matter now. For
Oh,
we matter in the future. We'll matter. We'll matter all summer long.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that. But teams that matter now, we have a rankings. Love doing some rankings on the Wise Guys over here, and we have 2 comparison lists instead of the same lists. I have the teams, and then we're gonna look and see how the quarterbacks compare because Chris has the quarterbacks. All right, Chris, should we start from the bottom or the top?
this is just playoff teams.
Just playoff teams, 14 teams.
15. I actually have 15 on my list because I split one person into 2 quarterbacks, which will make sense when we get to it.
Okay. Should I start at 14?
Let's start from the bottom.
All right. Number 14, Pittsburgh Steelers, the worst team in the playoffs. No TJ Watt. That really, really affects them. Their whole defense is different when he's out there. They're facing up against the Bills of Buffalo, and like this is a game. Bills
Hottest team
gets
in the league.
yeah, possibly.
One of them.
They did not look good against the Patriots 2 weeks ago. I gotta say, I know they
No,
won that
they
game.
didn't look
They looked
good
terrible
on Sunday.
No, they didn't look good on Sunday either. They're
Like, in
fumbling
all
into this one.
fairness,
Yeah, they're fumbling into this.
what their path is, Josh Allen puts together 3 or 4 games where he doesn't have like the ridiculous turnovers.
The tweets about
Like,
the tweets
it's
on
just
Sunday
not-
night were
Like,
so
it's not
funny.
likely.
The tweets on Sunday night were so funny because
The game was madness in this first half, especially. Like, he'll just like boom,
it's like
right off his back foot. He's insane.
he is, and it's like
I respect it.
Yeah, it's like once a week he's just like, oh, I think I
nuts.
could do it. No, I think I
Yeah,
could.
like at his worst, he's Jameis Winston.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not even like, maybe his median is Jameis Winston. But if he's at his best, then they're the hottest team.
I want to, just so people can laugh at it at home if they know the story. I did want to mention Jameis Winston. It would off track us now. We would have a big long tangent about this. We might have to save it for later. But that was a great play by Jameis Winston. Absolutely love that. Anyways, Steelers. I don't trust their offense. Mason Rudolph is back out there. Defense banged up. Don't like that. So they're the worst team for me in the playoffs. Anyone?
Well, conveniently, I have Mason Rudolph at 15 on my quarterback. Well, I'll just say 14. He's my worst quarterback, and I don't even think it's a discussion.
No, I don't think so
Who
either.
would you put lower than him?
No, I was just gonna say, was there any other team that you could see contend for this worst spot?
No,
No.
I get like the Packers. I guess would be the next one. You could argue the Eagles.
Oh, I put the
honestly.
Bucks. 13 is the Bucks.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though they did whoop up on the Packers, they got undoubted, which was the issue. Baker got undoubted. They put some expectations on him. That being said, the Bucks are going against the Eagles, who have been terrible, and they might actually win.
At home, Eagles team, like, I feel like they couldn't beat Michigan, right?
No, this Eagles team's on a downward spiral. So should I move them up? Should I put the Eagles as the second worst team? No, because they're not.
I
not
mean, you're
second.
still better than the Bucks.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about the Bucks is this is their 4th straight division.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
That is bonkers. I thought they were going to be a top 5 draft pick.
Yeah, we had Baker and Kyle Trask in the last.
Yeah. Yes. Because we didn't even know who was starting.
Apologies. Yeah. I have Baker at 13. I in between is Jared Goff when he's on the road, which doesn't matter yet. But Jared Goff at home and on the road are different people.
So Jared Goff is the one
Split
that split up. Yeah. So he's 13.
Yeah, Jared Goff on the road is horrible.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny because it's not even like in a dome or not in a dome. It's just on the road. Like it's just completely on the road. Doesn't matter if the room's on a dome.
Well, they do play in a dome.
No, they play a dome at home, but like normally with that, it's like, oh, as long as he's in a dome, it's okay. But no, it's just like as long
it's
as
any dome,
it needs to be Ford Field.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
Packers are 12 for me. Is it wrong to put them above the Bucks? Should I move it?
Wait, what?
Because I had the
Who
Steelers.
did we settle on? The Eagles or the Bucks at 13?
No, the Bucks are at 13. I'm not putting the Eagles out.
Okay. Then yeah, no, I don't think that's wrong.
Okay. Yeah, because even though I guess we
Bucks
saw
are the
this,
beneficiary of a bad division.
Agreed. Horrible division. That they could have lost too if the Panthers had any sort of confidence, but that doesn't exist. Texans are my number 11 team. Any pushback? Steelers, Bucks, Packers, Texans.
I'd put the Eagles below the Texans at this point.
They're
Like,
at 10. They're at
the
10.
Texans right now?
No, I wouldn't trust the Eagles to beat any of these teams.
I don't think I'd trust the Eagles to beat the Packers.
I don't think I'd trust them to beat the Steelers.
They might be.
But they're not, though. Like, that's just
They might be 13.
It's the way that they're playing. They are not roster-wise.
Right,
They
but
should be in
that's
top
like,
5.
is that not what these rankings are based on?
No, yes, exactly what their rankings are based off of. But like, isn't there a world where they figure it out in the playoffs, win a game or two, look like the roster that
I don't think so.
I mean, their corners
I
are
think
cooked.
that this
Both
thing
their
has
corners
come
are.
completely off the rails.
You think the wheels have just completely fallen off?
I think they lose to the Bucks.
I think they lose to the Bucks too, but I also like. It's just what bothers me is like, yeah, you're right. They're the 7th seed. They are the 7th seed. All right, they're getting above. They're getting at least pushed below Texans. I don't think they're worse than. I think they beat the Packers.
You do think they beat the Bucks?
Yeah, because the Bucks.
We can do this on Friday. We don't have to do it.
No. The last 3 weeks, the Bucks have been terrible. Past 3 weeks, the Bucks have been terrible. And I know the Eagles have been terrible.
But Baker also feasts against bad defenses. Maybe not in the play. We haven't seen playoff Baker in years.
Yeah, I have no idea what playoff Baker looks like. I don't know. The past 2 weeks, they've scored 22 points. But I guess let's look at the Eagles. What the hell have the Eagles scored?
I mean, in that same stretch, the Eagles almost lost to the Giants, lost to the Cardinals at home, and then lost to the Giants.
Yeah, and lost to the Seahawks with Drew Lock playing. Got whooped by the Cowboys, whooped by the Niners. But like, they also have beaten the Chiefs and have.
I know, but that was a long time ago.
Completely different team.
And the Chiefs aren't that impressive either.
No, and the Dolphins win that we thought was impressive isn't as impressive. It took you guys to overtime.
Yeah, has any team like confirmed
they have beaten the Bucks
bias like the Dolphins have?
They have beaten the Bucks.
Just lose every game again. In week 3, it might as well have been last year.
No, we could disagree. The Eagles are staying at 10. They did get pushed past the Texans though. So
like,
they're
it's
11.
not
Sorry.
It's not college football where we have to take into account like the whole season.
No, yeah, that's true.
We're not like deciding who's gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, no, you have a good point.
Like week 3, not impressive win against the
Bucks. I don't think the Bucks have looked good either. So that's where I'm sitting. I'm gonna move the Packers.
Yeah.
I'm putting the Packers above both of them, and having it be
okay.
No, because I think they beat the Packers, but not the Bucks. Fuck.
What?
I think the Eagles they're matched up against the Bucks, of course, but I think they could beat the Packers easily. I think they beat the Packers, and I think they. I don't know if they beat the Bucks or not. I don't know. All right, we're leaving it.
Put the Bucks out of the Packers.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do in my head.
Just like the matchup. It's like the way they match up against the Packers.
I do like the way they match up against the Packers. I think they torch the Packers.
Why not the Bucks then?
I don't know, because the Bucks have a cornerback that can stay in front of someone. Packers don't, but neither do the Eagles. I don't know, man.
All right, you want me to get back to my quarterbacks?
Yeah, take us up to 10.
I've only gotten 2.
Yeah, take us up to 10.
I have Baker at 13. I have Purdy at 12.
Oof.
And I know that we've done this whole thing with Purdy. The way that I did my rankings is like if I'm a team going into the playoffs right now, like playoffs specifically.
Mm-hmm. Who do I want?
Like who do I want to face?
Yeah. That's how it should
like. If you take him off this Niners team,
I don't want him the most.
Like what gives me any faith in Brock Purdy?
Agreed.
So sorry to put him that low.
No,
but if you include the rest of the NFL, like he's probably in pretty much the same spot.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that I realized making this list is like most of the teams with good quarterbacks that are healthy made the playoffs.
Yeah. Crazy to think about, right?
Crazy how that works.
Yeah.
I have Tua at 11. It's just like if they were playing a bad team in the playoffs, I'd be very excited, but they have to go on the road to Kansas City. And frankly, against anybody other than
It's
like
gonna be negative
the
2 degrees.
Texans in the AFC, I just don't trust Tua whatsoever.
I don't trust Tua when it's
Um,
negative 2 degrees either.
It was warm in Miami, and he still choked against the Bills. Last interception was horrible.
Yeah, that was bad.
And then I have Jalen Hurts at 10, which is quite the fall from grace.
Wow.
But he hasn't played well.
No, he hasn't. He looks terrible.
Like, I don't. There's not really an argument for him playing. He played well against the Cardinals. The last 7 games outside of that one have been a disaster.
And he didn't even win the game. It's the Cardinals. All
Yes,
right.
he did.
So he was your 10.
That's not his fault. But
All right.
10.
So I'll rip through the next couple teams.
I'll do a recap. I have Rudolph, Jared Goff on the road, Baker, Purdy, Tua, Hurts.
Nice.
That's my quad 3 guys.
Yeah, I guess it could be quad 3.
This actually works pretty well in quads.
Does. My 4
Or it's
teams
not quads, I guess. If there's
go Steelers 14, Bucks 13, Packers 12, Eagles 11, Texans up to 10. But it's funny, like we can nitpick all these teams, and like I could move my whole list around. I feel like because are the Dolphins actually 9? That's what I have them as. Like I love the coach. I love the talent on the field. I don't really love the defense. I hate the quarterback.
I think that's the perfect spot for him.
Yeah, because they still have
I think they
Mostert.
beat all the teams below, but it's like any team that's any better than them, they're gonna lose to.
I agree.
They had the one win against the Cowboys. That was it.
Mm-hmm. You know, the Cardinals and the Patriots both have more wins over 500 teams than the Dolphins. Pretty epic.
It's not like they haven't had the chance to do it either. It's not like they've just played
a
schedule.
No, they've had chances.
Had
blow it every time.
Too.
Blew the division because of it.
Not only blow it, but like they get their asses kicked.
Every time.
Like, they did not. They looked awful against the Chiefs. They couldn't score against the Eagles. They got totally wiped off the field by the Ravens. And they lost the Bills twice.
Pretty impressive.
Not impressive.
Pretty impressive.
On one-score game against the Cowboys.
That they shouldn't have even won. They weren't they. It was like they were driving down, weren't they? And they didn't Dak fumble. Was that the fumble out of the end zone or something like that?
No. They won on a field goal.
Okay. Anywho, Chiefs number 8. Testament to Mahomes because their defense is nothing special, but their offense is terrible. And the only reason why I have him at 8 is because Mahomes could pop off and become Mahomes at any time. And I still think like maybe this is crazy to sound, but like I'm not gonna bet against them not to win. Like they could definitely win the Super Bowl, and I wouldn't be shocked. I feel like
no, I wouldn't be shocked either.
Yeah, they have Mahomes, and that's when we see later on. That's what matters. Travis Kelce now doesn't have to worry about the rest of the season. He can play his fullest in this game. They whooped the Dolphins.
You got a bye week, basically.
Yeah, they whooped the Dolphins here.
But the only thing with them is they're gonna have to play a game on the road at some point.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll have to go
either to Buffalo or
assuming the Bills beat the Steelers.
Yeah, to Buffalo.
We're gonna have to go to Buffalo, which the Bills can play them. If they lost again, it would actually.
I was just gonna say, playing the Bills at home is a gift in the playoffs. They're cursed. I would not be worried at all going to Buffalo.
We're getting these games that would be like so exciting last year or 2 years ago. This year it's just like the Dolphins Chiefs game. You know what the total is? 44.
Oh, if that was 3 weeks, actually no. If that was 7 weeks ago, the total would be 55.5.
Yeah, exactly. Now, yeah, it's like these teams have been neutered.
All of them have to. It gets grim. I like the top 5. Top 5's fun, but it gets grim after that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Bills at number 7. I have them, giving them their credit.
Oh,
Too low? Too high?
too low. Too low.
No.
Okay.
Let me get to the rest. Let me. They're not too low.
All right, go ahead.
Bills, I had right above the Chiefs, right under the Detroit Lions at 6. The Bills are I guess technically the hottest team. They make terrible mistakes. Their defense is solid. It's played solid, but their number one corner is like some guy named someone you've never heard of. Their safeties are banged up. Their whole team is banged up. They signed Von Miller to a 6-year deal, and he was 33 years old. That doesn't affect the playoff. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, that was tough.
But and they still can't get this Allen Diggs thing right. I don't trust him in the playoffs. I don't trust Allen.
I think Diggs is gonna pop off in the playoffs. I think Diggs goes for like 150 yards.
Yeah, maybe against the
maybe not this
Steelers.
week, but it's coming.
If he's gonna do it, it's gonna be against the Steelers.
I think it's coming. That's my Diggs take.
I personally don't like the Bills, so I guess, but if you're a fan of the NFL and don't care about the Bills, they're due for a good playoff game, due for a good Allen and Diggs connection. I don't know. I think their playoff game was last week, and they won the division, and they're gonna beat the Steelers, but I don't think they're gonna. They're lucky they got the Steelers. They really got a bye week too.
They're the 2 seed in the conference.
Yeah.
Let's not act like they limped into the playoffs.
They did. If they didn't win that game, they're getting kicked out.
No.
They don't win that game, they get kicked out of the playoffs.
And they did win that game.
Yes, they did win the game. Okay, yes. All right, you got a good point.
What are you talking about?
All right, I just don't. All right,
I think said before the week.
I think the key is all of these AFC teams suck, besides the Ravens.
But you already have 2 teams ranked ahead of them.
I have 2 teams ranked ahead of them because the other team that we get to, I trust way more, and I can't believe it, but I trust them way more than this other team. All right, Lions. I have them back to back with the Rams. We'll get to the Bills later because we have some more AFC teams to talk about, so you can argue them. Rams and Lions. I have as.
Is this the game of the week?
Yo, this is the game of the century. Especially the tickets are going for $600. The lowest nosebleeds for Ford Field. The fact that
if I was a Lions fan, it's been that long.
The fact that they finally get a home playoff game, they're the 2 seed or the 3. I don't think it matters, but they're the 3 seed. And then they have to go against a guy that was their quarterback for 10 years, 15 years, however long it is, and then just it is a perfect script. It's a perfect script. I think the Rams are going to go in there and whoop them. I really have a feeling that they're going to whoop them. If they do a tribute video,
I don't know how high I am on the Rams. They're not doing a tribute.
If they do a tribute video to Matthew Stafford, I will lose my mind. They deserve to get blown out by 50 if that happens.
I don't think they'll let that happen.
No, Dan Campbell's too smart for that.
There's no way.
No, Dan Campbell's he's way too much of a meathead to do that.
It's not his call.
I guess you're right. It's not his call. If I was the head coach, though, I'd be pissed. Just giving him motivation.
Yeah.
He's here to beat us. But anyways.
I would be incredibly uneasy with this team rolling into town.
If you're a Lions fan, you're just shitting yourself. And it's it's funny because this game will be decided, maybe not decided, but you will know which Lions team you get from the first pass. Pass, you will know which golf we're getting, which Lions offense we're getting.
Let's keep it simple. Let's go under center and hand the ball off on the first play. How about that?
They should. They should do that.
right from the start. Like,
Yep.
maybe in the first 2 plays.
Damn, and they
Just settle in real quick.
it's brutal that Laporta got injured that last game. He said he's outside chance that he plays.
Did he actually?
Yeah, outside chance that he plays.
Eee.
Said, God, they'll know in 48 hours.
Let's not act like this Rams team is like that special though. Like they just squeaked past the Giants a couple weeks ago.
They could have scored again if they
Have-
wanted to. I feel like they didn't. Because they fucked up my cover by not going for 2 or for going for 2. That's why.
Yeah. I guess they've won a lot of games.
They've looked pretty good
Won
too.
7 of their last 8.
And what
since
but
that
I-
Packers loss,
and the loss to the Ravens in OT was off a punt return.
right? Yeah.
The Packers
Smoked the
loss was Brent
Browns.
Ripken. Remember?
Oh, you're right. Oh no.
This team's good. This team's good.
Oh,
And
no.
the let's just
Detroit.
when you look at it on paper, Stafford, Puka, Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp. That's scary as shit. Those are some players. Those are some real players right there. And even Higbee, they like him a lot. I mean, I don't think they actually use him very much, but they have weapons. Tutu Atwell, Demarcus Robinson's caught a couple touchdowns. It's all about the defense and the offensive line for this team. If they can take care of business, it's gonna be a long day in Detroit. Also, I'm proud to admit.
But let's look at if
that
we look at the Viking or Giants last 4, they smoked the Broncos, who at the time were still fighting for a playoff spot. They beat the Vikings on the road, which
Oh, we're talking about Lions.
is like, yeah, I said let's talk about the Lions
My bad.
because I don't want to at least hype them up a little bit, so it's not just
Yes.
doomsday.
Yeah.
Although I think I'm say
Oh, I'm definitely betting the Rams.
beat the Vikings on the road. What?
I said I'm definitely betting the Rams.
To win the division. They should have beaten the Cowboys. That play should have counted.
Yeah.
And then beat the Vikings again in a pretty meaningless game, but took care of business. So they finished strong. They were technically a 2-point conversion away from the 1 seed. And I guess the Niners wouldn't have rested anybody.
Yeah, and tried to care about
So
that.
they probably would have beaten the Rams. But that's not a guarantee. But they were right there. They had the same record as the 49ers. That means something.
It does mean something, but shit that concerns me is, 38 to the Ravens, 38 to the Chargers, 26 to the Bears, 28 to the Bears.
If that was with Herbert.
29 to the Packers, 28 to the Saints.
They've been trending in the right direction.
Yes. Yes. They gave
The 28 to this, or no, never mind. That was a different game. 28 to the Saints is concerned.
to have the Broncos when they were hot. Broncos were hot. They're one of the hottest teams in the NFL. To hold them to 17, score 42 is good. Vikings, that game. Who even was the quarterback?
Vikings are weird.
Yeah, Nick
I think it was
Mullins.
Mullins.
Mullins threw 4 picks. That's pretty brutal. That
They
he threw
picked
4.
him off 4 times.
Threw 4 picks.
See,
and
you
only
can
won
flip
by 6.
anything.
Yeah, but he threw 4 picks and only won by 6. That concerns me too. I don't know. I think you just go in and hope. You're a Lions fan. I think that's what you're going in off of. I think if you look at all the
They're
metrics,
better. They're the better team, I think. They're the more complete team, at least.
yes, because I think their defense is better than which is funny because we've been talking about how much they've given up all these points. But I think their defense is better than the Rams on paper.
On paper, yeah. Which doesn't mean anything.
But I do have them ranked above the Lions in my rankings.
Yeah. As soon as I said that, I'm not sure if I believe that.
That's my that I highlighted the Rams. Literally physically highlighted it cuz they're the most interesting team to me. They whooped the Lions. If they looked up
Yeah.
whoop the Lions, they could They could really be in contention to go to the Super Bowl again. And I don't think anyone's talking about it. I think it needs to be mentioned. Another team that I think can
if they beat the Lions, then they'll go to
go to Dallas, right?
Francisco.
Oh,
Or
are they the 7th seed?
they'll go to San Francisco.
That'll be fun.
No,
I
because
gotta say
the
my
4-5 game will go to San Francisco.
my Wentz bet hit. Said at the beginning of the year we will see Wentz at some point. We saw Wentz.
That's right. Did nail that.
He wasn't terrible either. Wasn't great, but he wasn't terrible.
Yeah, no. One of the DC radio guys was talking about he's like, why couldn't we use Wentz like they did? I was like, all right, let's just forget that happened.
The DC radio will always find a way to be upset about some former Redskin.
Yes, that is true. Well, it's tough when it gets shoved down our throats every single
Monday Night Football. Every Monday Night Football.
And Shanahan and the Texans guy who I didn't even know we had.
It's getting annoying though. It's like, all right, we get it.
It's so
I love the graphics. I saw one. It was like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, security manager for the 2013 Redskins. Bill Belichick was quality control manager for the 2013 Redskins. It was like Bill Parcells was out on the 2013 Redskins too.
Yeah. That's funny.
All right, to finish off, another team that I thought this is the team that it's why the Bills are at 7, because the Cleveland Browns are at 4. The Cleveland Browns. I have this weekend to still say this. This week at least to still say this, because I could be eating my words come. They could be losing to the Texans on Saturday at 7:00. They could be out of this whole thing. But I think this is a roster built for the Super Bowl that has January Joe in January. They made it. They made it to January, and he's played good throughout the whole time. So what the hell is he gonna do in January? He's gonna light the field on fire. How irrational
I'm struggling with this.
How irrational am I?
I don't know, because I have the same feelings. I don't know if it's if we're just setting ourselves up to be disappointed. Would you be that surprised if the Texans beat him?
No, I wouldn't, because it'd be 3 Joe Flacco interceptions. He would look terrible, and we'd just be like, shit.
It could easily happen.
Joe Flacco's 35 years old, and we bet on him or whatever.
He could throw 2 pick sixes, and they lose 28-10.
That I think it's, but what would
surprise?
Happen, what would surprise me?
See them going to the Super Bowl.
What would surprise me though is if they had a good offensive game and the Texans still won. They have a good offensive game. I don't think they lose until a really
I think that they're going to make this hard for Stroud.
Oh, they're going to make this incredibly difficult for Stroud.
And him playing in his first playoff game against this defense is a tough draw.
Yeah, it's not something you want.
I think I'd rather play the Dolphins.
I would rather play the Dolphins. I if you're the Texans, I mean, I'd rather play the Steelers, of course. No, I guess I wouldn't rather play the Chiefs just because it's Mahomes on the other side. And I guess I wouldn't rather play the Bills because the Bills roster overall.
Well, you put the Bills below the Browns.
Yeah, because I have more faith in the Browns than I do in the Bills.
I
have way.
Then why would you rather play the Browns than the Bills?
Because I think it's a coin flip. I think it's pretty tough. I think this Browns defense though is scary. Shit. That is the draw to this team. It's the Browns defense that is really scary. What did they do? Did they play?
Should also probably cover Amari Cooper this time.
Yeah.
Last time he 400 yards.
Yeah, against the Texans, right?
Maybe watch out for that. Yeah, this game happened a couple weeks ago, but it wasn't Stroud.
Yeah, it was Case Keenum.
Did Mills get into that game?
Mills got in to get too. Yeah, Mills did get in the game.
I forgot that he existed.
368.
Hell,
368 for Joe Flacco. I have faith. It's irrational faith.
I don't think it's that irrational. Why is it? Like he's old, yeah, but he can still sling it. Clearly,
It's irrational because they've had 5 quarterbacks this season. That's why it's irrational. And
they're winning.
nobody wanted Joe Flacco for 4 years. That's why it's irrational. But yes, they're winning.
But it's
They're winning and they
working.
look
Like, no one
amazing.
won Nick Foles the year the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
No, and he never got it. He was never a good starter ever again. So like it doesn't like that's what I'm keen in. Is that
Sometimes it doesn't matter.
yeah, they have 4 weeks if they're lucky. They have 4 weeks that they have to worry about Joe Flacco. And
Yep.
so far, he's been spectacular.
Take it
So-
1 week at a time. Got the Texans.
I
I
say,
don't
it
think
sounds
anyone's
like
scared of the Texans.
it sounds like I swung you
It's more
back
of
over
like a Stroud's getting his first.
to the
Over.
that they're better than the Bills. Yeah, I think I've gotten you over it. Also, did you know they had Dustin Hopkins?
Total's 44 and a half rounds.
Yeah, they have Dustin Hopkins apparently.
I didn't know that. Good kicker.
Great kicker.
He missed that one field goal against the Bengals in London. I'll still never forgive him for that.
I remember that. I remember
They
that.
tied. They would have made the playoffs. Well, I think they also lost to the Giants.
All right, let's finish
Browns
out this
laying
list.
2.5.
Finish out this list.
Oh yeah, you want me to go back to quarterbacks?
Yeah, what are we at? We're at 10 for quarterbacks, right? So go all the way to
Joint
4.
list. Yeah.
Go all the way to 4.
Okay,
And
so
look at the top 3.
nine. I have Jordan Love.
Okay.
We talked about him earlier.
Over Hurts is
up and
pretty
down, but
wild,
right now
it's,
we're-
yeah, but as of right now, I would agree.
I look at the lot like
No, I would
going
agree.
in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I have Flacco.
At 7
I have
or 9.
8.
Ah, I'm losing it. Okay,
Close.
pick the two numbers.
This is insane because I have Flacco over Mayfield, Brock Purdy, who was almost MVP of the league. Tua was MVP of the league for a little bit. Ertz, who was MVP of the league for a little bit, and Jordan Love.
But he has
I
played better than
don't, like,
all of them
I don't think
the
I-
past 5 weeks.
Yeah. And he's done it before. Like that matters, especially at quarterback. That matters.
I know. And it's also like he's like the cool guy in the locker room. Like and he doesn't have to
He's
be
the
leader.
dad.
Yeah,
He's like the team dad.
it's actually so perfect. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. I can't that Baltimore game. The script writers are gonna the pen is literally catching fire. They're gonna get Stafford in Ford Field, and they're gonna get Joe Flacco in the M&T Bank, and they both might win.
So what has to happen? Oh, all that has to happen for that is
The Browns have to win,
the
right?
Chiefs to beat the Dolphins and the Bills to beat the Steelers.
Yeah. So chalk.
That's it.
They just need chalk.
Yeah, if chalk, yeah. Right. If the favorites win, they go to Baltimore.
Dude, I kind of
Love
want
the divisional round.
kind of want to
Wild
fly
card weekend's
back.
fun. Divisional round is awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, I kind of want that's a game I want to fly back for. It's been great. I'm not even a Ravens fan. I'd go wearing a Joe Flacco Browns jersey. Anywho,
All right. So anyway, I have Flacco at 8. I have Stroud at 7.
okay.
I might flip those. I don't know because he's a rookie. That's the only reason. Like I don't think anyone's taking Joe Flacco over CJ Stroud like in general. But for this
scenario,
month,
you want January Joe, man.
I think that does feel ridiculous to say.
Okay, but in a blank, what your list is a blank team. You just need a quarterback. So
Right, yeah.
I think
It's
leave
Stroud.
Stroud. Yeah, I think leave Stroud there.
Okay. Then I have Jared Goff at home.
Okay.
The difference is between 6 and 14.
Big difference.
I might just take it out and throw him in between.
Okay.
Throw him behind Jordan Love. If we post these.
No,
Josh
I think
Allen at 5.
leave them both because I think that'd be funny.
Leave it? Okay. I have Josh Allen at 5.
Okay.
I don't know how to feel about Josh Allen because I know that the talent's there,
But I haven't.
and like we've
Can't get
seen
it
him
done.
do this.
See him can't get it
He
done.
hasn't
though.
done it in the playoffs.
Wow.
And like even there's games that they have won this year where he's not that good. Like even their best win of the year when they smoked the Cowboys, he threw for what, like 90 yards?
Yeah, he didn't do anything.
And maybe that's the formula. Maybe they don't. Maybe they need to rely on the running game and defense. God knows they haven't done it before in the playoffs, so maybe that doesn't matter. But he's outside of my. He's right on the edge of the top for me. And then at 4, I have Dak, who I think would finish second in MVP.
Where do you
look at his numbers?
No, I know. Well, it's funny if Dak doesn't get the MVP this year, which he isn't. It's gonna be Lamar. He's never gonna get the MVP. This was his like best season. He's not gonna get the MVP.
Yeah, this is the best. I think this is the best season he's had.
I think so too.
So I'm gonna give him credit where credit's due.
He kept to his word too. Remember, he said he was gonna get less than 10 interceptions.
The 10 interceptions.
And
yeah,
he got 9.
Yeah, everyone laughed at him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
When going into a playoff game and you're deciding between these two guys, this is tough. Like, what do you do with either of these clowns? Because neither of these guys have been able to do it in the playoffs. There's a lot of other
or Josh Allen.
Yeah, Dak, Josh Allen. There's been many of reasons for it. It's not exactly just their fault, but it's fun. Like you're looking at these guys. You were trying to talk about the pedigree and like, oh, Joe Flacco's been there before, and that's why you have him ranked so high. Besides Mahomes, nobody else has been there.
Yeah.
Nobody else has been and won a Super Bowl. These are all fresh faces. Oh, besides Stafford. Yeah. Stafford, Joe, Mahomes. That's the 3.
Yep. So
that will concern me. But I mean, it's funny because one of those 3 guys might win the Super Bowl, so it might not matter anyways. But the non-pedigree definitely concerns me at times. Josh Allen has like negative pedigree.
There's Dak.
Yeah, Dak does too.
But Dak hasn't been that bad in the playoffs, I don't think. Hasn't been anything special. The game against the Niners last year was bad, but that was like that's not all on him. That was just a disaster. The problem is they're gonna have to go back to San Francisco,
like they always are.
Likely, if they can even get out of the first 2 rounds. So I don't know. I still I think I trust him more than Josh Allen at this point, though.
Yeah, because I know Josh Allen's gonna have a terrible interception. I know it. Dak might not.
Yeah, he's like the safer pick.
Yeah.
Like if everyone around him plays amazing, then they're probably gonna win.
Did you get up to 4?
3. Yeah.
All right, top 3 time. Speaking of the Cowboys, Dallas Cowboys, number 3. Their roster's just stacked all around. Everywhere.
I'd be lying if I wasn't a little bit nervous.
The thing that's gonna their downfall this year is gonna be their running game. Tony Pollard has been terrible. They have not been able to run the football at an effective rate that they normally have been with Zeke. Their defense is good. They're studs all around the roster, and Dak can get the ball out where it needs to go and minimize turnovers. His team it should win at least a game or 2, but once we see them face the Niners again, it's gonna be which
that's what I
number
think.
2. Not 49ers, number 2, and Chris's prediction to win the Super Bowl back in the preseason: Baltimore Ravens are the number 1 team in the 2023 NFL playoff power rankings.
I'm just gonna say if I can nail the Super Bowl in 2 of the last 3 years,
and then the other year, I guess we both had the Rams.
Yeah. What did you have this year?
I think I had some version of the Bengals.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I do remember that because we both had NFC North.
I
had Burrow to win MVP.
I had Burrow to win MVP. AFC champ was the Bengals, and they were beating the Niners 34-30.
Okay.
Damn.
That was quick.
Yeah. I was wrong on.
Did you write down who I had the Ravens playing?
No.
The Eagles.
No, I didn't have.
It was the Eagles.
I got none of these futures right. Besides DeMar Hamlin.
Not necessarily.
That's true. But anywho. Yeah, that does it. What's the
Yeah,
top
I
three
agree with that.
quarterbacks?
I have Stafford at 3, right?
Who?
Like Stafford.
Okay, yeah.
And I have MVP of the league, Lamar Jackson at 2.
Okay.
And I still have Mahomes at 1.
Yeah, because he is.
Until I don't see it in the playoffs, he's still number 1.
And
And
for
right or
this,
for wrong, that's how I do my rankings.
well, and for this exercise, he is the pick. This exercise is who are you most afraid to go against when your defense looks across the line. And it's Mahomes. We've seen Mahomes win 2 Super Bowls. We've seen him won 2 MVPs, and I guess that doesn't matter for the playoffs. But in the playoffs, it doesn't matter how much they're down by. It doesn't matter, what position in the game they are. It doesn't matter if he has one ankle or not. He's gonna carry this team as well as he can to victory.
Yep.
And if
it's like in Brady's last days with the Patriots.
Yeah, you were still scared to see him in the
last days with the Chiefs, but like even in the years where the New England wasn't scary during the regular season, you get in the playoffs and you're like, who do I want to see the least on the other side? And it was always Brady.
Yeah, and
Mahomes is the same way until someone beats him.
The perfect example is the year that they beat the Rams in the Super Bowl. Like they fumbled at the end of the regular season. They blew that Miami Miracle game where Gronk is playing free safety and falls. They get eliminated from the 1 seed. They have to play in the 2 seed. Then they have to go to Kansas City, and their team is so much worse. But it doesn't matter. Brady's on that side, and Brady picked him apart.
D Ford.
Yeah, D Ford helped out too. But that is still on the table for this team, and I do think if the only issue is I don't know what they had Gronk and Edelman stepped up in the playoffs for Tom Brady. I guess it has to be Kelsey, has to be some form of Kelsey, but the other guy I don't know who that guy is to even step up. Is it Rashid Rice? Is he the guy that has to step up for this team? Because I know it's not Tony. I know it's not Scantling. Could be Pacheco. But they're throwing up some prayers.
Yeah, I think it's Rice, Kelsey, and Pacheco.
Yeah, that's some prayers over there. So
I think Kelsey will be Kelsey's fine. Regular season does not matter at this point.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Kelsey right. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not worried about them right now. All right. That's our rankings from 1 to 14. I have. Baltimore's gonna love this. It starts with the Ravens and ends with the Steelers. I have the Baltimore Ravens, San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Cleveland Browns, Los Angeles Rams, Lions, Bills, Chiefs, Dolphins, Texans, Eagles, Packers, Bucks, Steelers. If you didn't get all that, don't worry. We post on Instagram.
Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Matt Stafford, Dak Prescott, Josh Allen, Jared Goff at Ford Field, C.J. Stroud, Joe Flacco, Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts, Tua, Purdy, Mayfield, Jared Goff, not at Ford Field, and Mason Rudolph.
Love it. I think we did well.
You could slap them side by side if we have room. If we will, but
look down here. I have I have 2 teams. This must have been from the beginning of the season. I have overrated teams and underrated teams. 4 overrated teams: the Bills, the Vikings, the Giants, and the Saints. I was right on 3 of the 4.
That was pretty good. That was the other one that my pre-season take that the Giants were going to be bad.
Yeah,
I nailed that one. I pulled up my futures list that I had.
Wait. Let me get the underrated.
Exactly 12 games.
Wait, 1 second.
So close.
I had underrated Pat's defense specifically. I'm gonna give that a win. Broncos loss.
That's a win.
Browns, it's a dub.
Yeah, the Broncos you could argue that one.
Okay, all right, 2.5 because I got the Browns. Commanders did no. Titans no. Steelers, does that count? They're in the playoffs.
They won 10 games.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So I went 3.5 on that one.
I don't know if I still have those, but I have a couple ones that I won. Dolphins over 9.5 wins. Jets to miss the playoffs.
Nice.
I had Steelers over 8.5 wins. That was free. Did Amari Cooper have 1,000 yards? He had to have, right? Yeah, easily. That hit. Did Lamar have 6 rushing touchdowns? He had to have, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's confirm here. 2, 4, 5. No.
He had 5.
That's brutal. He had 5. He had none in like the last 10 weeks. Bummer. Titans over now. Lawrence no. Yikes. Broncos under wins and Raiders over wins. I hit those.
Oh,
All my win totals I hit except for the Titans. That's pretty impressive.
I forgot I had a
Quentin Johnson over 570 yards.
No, that did not hit, right? I had I forgot I had the NFC future bets. Commanders plus 500 to make the playoffs. Not gonna happen. Darren Waller over 4.5 TDs. Didn't happen. Did Devontae Smith get 1,000 yards?
I also had Diggs over receiving yards in that. Yes, Devontae Smith, 1,066.
Nice. Got that one. NFC conference odds still in play for the Dallas Cowboys. Plus 600.
What was it?
NFC conference. So
win the conference.
Yeah. So that's still in the play.
Okay.
Packers under 2.5 regular season divisional wins. That's an awesome bet.
No,
no,
that did not hit.
Yeah, that's an awesome bet though.
They beat the Bears twice and they beat the Vikings.
Brutal.
That is a hilarious bet though.
Did the Bears get under 7 wins? Did they get 7?
They got 7, yeah.
Nice, 7.5. So boom, check
you
that.
Pushed?
Yeah, no, I had 7.5.
Okay.
TJ Hawk, what's he looking like? He had 960 yards. I needed him 800 yards plus 5.5 TDs. Damn it, he needed one more touchdown.
I don't know if I have my overrated and underrated.
Oh, Lions still in play for conference winner plus 800. I don't think that's happening, but it's still in play.
I had them 1 seed, dude. They were tied.
Damn, I had Dan Campbell coach of the year too, but
that could win.
No, it needs to be Stefanski. Put actual money on it. Falcons. I had Falcons and Panthers, both division winners, just because I like the odds for them. Panthers weren't close. Comeback player of the year.
The Bucks might have had worse odds than.
But yeah, Bucks' worst record was plus 950. That's what I took him. Worst record.
I see.
Did Derek Carr lead the league in picks? I doubt it.
I think Sam Howell did.
Michael Thomas, comeback player of the year, plus 5,000. Never showed up. Seahawks get 10 wins. They ended with 9. 9 wins. Damn it. So close.
Yeah, I didn't do great. I will definitely be in the red if the Ravens don't win the Super Bowl based on my futures.
Oh, my makeup 49ers bet hit. It was to have
makeup 49ers bet.
Yeah, I made it up. It was to have more than 1.5 QBs start a game. Technically, with Darnold starting this last game, it counted. Rams under 6.5 wins never worked out. Cardinals' worst record.
Yeah,
was
that's
close.
right. You were the biggest Rams hater in the world.
I was. Cardinals' worst record didn't work out, but was close.
Close.
I can't believe my Rams bet wasn't
the worst record.
I can't believe I didn't write down Wentz bet anywhere. I know I said it it's on the tape. We got to go back on the tape because I know I mentioned Wentz. Yeah. But I can't believe I didn't write that down. All right, let's go on to some college corner, a little bit of NBA. We'll wrap this thing up.
We're gonna hit 2 hours.
Yeah, let's just go college corner. We'll wrap this up. Carolina starts the biggest game of their season tonight in 8 minutes. I can't wait.
Boy.
I cannot wait. Mississippi State came to town on Saturday. They didn't know what they were getting into. Colonial Life was rocking. It was packed. And the boys played great. What I'm getting worried about is BJ Mack is our big forward, who is he's very good. He's very good. But
I like BJ Mack.
He kind of had a Julian Reese performance now that there was a bigger man in front of him.
Yeah.
And all I was thinking
Classic.
about was when I asked you why isn't Julian Reese doing anything, and you said anyone who's bigger than him makes him do nothing. And that's a little bit what I'm concerned about when it comes to big BJ Mack. I hope that's not the case, but Mississippi State was a massive team. Those guys were big, and they were good at defense.
Did you beat them?
Oh yeah, we beat them. But when it comes, that's why I just hope it's not a trend with BJ. You know, I hope this isn't a trend.
Right? Yeah, of course.
We'll later see. There's a guy, Stephen. I hate actually calling him this guy, Stephen Clark, on the team, and he came from the Citadel. And
oh right, I think we have.
I haven't seen him do a single thing on the floor. Not a point. Not a good clutch rebound. He plays solid defense, but my only critique about this team is that I don't know why he's playing. He starts. I have no idea. Plays 13 minutes.
Maybe he's a glue guy.
He must be a glue guy. And I hate going against the athletes.
You need glue guys.
I hate going against the athletes. I hate calling them out like that. I don't know why he's on the court. But maybe you're right. Maybe he's just a glue guy. I wish the glue guy could get 10 points in the game. That would be nice.
10 points is a lot.
Michi Johnson.
College basketball, 10 points is a good game.
That is true. All right, fine. Can you get 5 in one game? That would be nice.
That's
Michi Johnson's him. Michi Johnson is so awesome.
Yeah, I like Michi.
He's so sweet. He's completely taken, like, he is the atmosphere of Colonial Life. He gets the crowd hype. He's the kind of the heart and soul of the team. And my God, is he good. Like, when he is on fire, he just plays with this confidence, and he plays like he's the man. And he is the man, deservingly so. That dude is a baller. And hopefully, I'm glad. I was happy to see
the one game. Go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say I was happy to see him play well, like, in the SEC play, because he is kind of a little bit smaller, but it's nice to see him play in ACC. And he's playing great defense this year. Last year he was a traffic cone out there on defense. He would let anyone go past him, but this year he's really locked in on the defensive side.
Yeah, the one game that I watched at the Gamecocks, Michi was definitely electric. Is he your best player?
Yeah.
Assuming.
Yeah, he's the best player. And it was on the table. BJ Mack could have been it. Studi has his games. Talon Cooper he's the real glue guy. He gets a ton of assists.
He's the assist guy, right?
Yeah, he's the assist guy.
Yeah. I remember that in the offseason from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was like 6th in the nation for assists or something. So I remember I mentioned that on the pod. And great improvement from Zach Davis, who last year he was good on defense, but kind of was lost on offense. He was a freshman last year. He really knows where his spots are now and knows when to shoot. It seems a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, a lot of heart with these guys. I love being a part of it. That's all I got.
Happy for you.
Thank you. Football's gotten a couple more recruits.
It's like you're having the season that I did last year.
I think we flipped seasons. Going to the game, I think we've definitely flipped seasons.
Yeah, that's right. You got to experience my basketball team live.
Yes, I did.
The #1 team in the nation.
Let me Do you want my
Okay, like-
thoughts? You want my thoughts?
Like, I think your thoughts are probably gonna be just confirming my thoughts. They're the worst shooting team that you'll ever see.
And there's the worst.
don't
It's
run
something that drove me
plays.
crazy last year against the Gamecocks too. Is that they're scared to shoot. They're terrified to shoot.
Yeah.
They don't want to shoot at all.
They're scared to shoot because they don't hit shots.
Yeah, and that dude Julian Reese needs to figure it out. He needs to score a point against the number 1 team. He's your best player, isn't he?
It's been the same thing since his freshman year. Like, he'll have one game where he goes for like 19 and 8, and it's like, wow, like we really got something here. And then he goes up against Edie, which, in all fairness, like, it's Edie, but didn't get a single point. Like, didn't even get to the free throw line.
I was gonna say you got to figure out.
Actually, maybe he did once.
That's the other thing. This team doesn't get to the free throw line either. And if you can't shoot, you got to take layups and get to the free throw line. And they can't even do that.
Yeah, and they can't penetrate at all.
No.
And they have guys that like
it's
good slashing guards. It just, I don't know. There's something way off. I think it's just like the way that the roster is constructed. Like, the guys can't play together.
No.
None of their skills, like, they just all have the same skills.
Yeah, they don't match up at all. The other thing that pissed me off.
They're a good rebounding team.
They are last year's Gamecocks team because they're a horizontal offense. It's all about, like, they don't go to the basket. They just play around the hoop or around the rim.
They look for open perimeter shots
Yes.
that they don't make.
No, and they never get. They don't ever get the open perimeter shot either.
Oh,
It's just a bunch of running around, and it looks like they're folding over each
It's
other.
literally
like
just
waves.
motion offense.
Yes.
It's like what I learned in 5th grade.
Yeah, and they can't. They can't penetrate to go to the hoop, and they can't shoot, so they have no offense.
Makes me want to claw my eyes out. They just lost to Minnesota, which is like the lowest of the low in the Big. It's a lost season, and it's January 9th.
Yeah,
But apparently, our football team is a big deal now because we played Michigan close, and now they're national
I
champions.
saw that. I saw that.
It's actually so pathetic.
It's one of the
way that people
first
and
things I
like
saw.
at first it was like a joke. People were like, "Oh, like Maryland, like really took it to Michigan," and now there's people that are like, "Put some respect on our name. Like, we only lost by 7." It's like, what are we doing here? We lost to Illinois at home and Northwestern. We can't be puffing our chest because we lost to Michigan close.
You've had some embarrassing social media, not you
So
personally,
embarrassing.
but your teams have had some embarrassing social media outings. Considering the Redskins, 20 minutes after their game, post the second pick.
Between the draft pick. That was so funny.
It's like it's still Sunday. Like all
That
these
was so
all
funny.
these teams posted it today. Like the Pats posted today, the Giants,
right.
the Falcons, or not today, but
So
Monday.
great.
And it's on Sunday. The games aren't even over yet. Barely, the final press conference is probably still going on, and they've posted that they had the second pick. Good job, guys.
That
Congrats.
was so funny.
Congrats.
We got the second pick. Hey, play the hits. That's what people wanted to see. No one cared. No one cared about the game.
I immediately
That
saw.
was funny.
I immediately saw like so many people comment like, "This is Chase Young and Robert Griffin all over again." Like it's not ever gonna get better. Like,
Yeah. I see that, and my buddy who's a Jets fan just sent me a picture of Zach Wilson. I was like, "Get out of here!" Like, I don't.
send him back one of CJ Stroud. It's all right. Send him one back. to
That's
CJ
right,
Stroud.
and that's what. CJ Stroud.
All you need to do.
Yeah, let's see. It was January 7th at 7:24 p.m. The game was at 4:30. It might have been.
I was gonna say, was the game still going on?
I think it was
Oh,
such a
man.
beatdown that they probably
They
just
had to
turned on the
post
running
up.
clock
Oh
and
yeah,
said,
they had to throw on, and they had to post
I was
up.
in the mountains all weekend, so I didn't even watch. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that was
Second
funny.
pick. That really was funny.
Boom, there it is.
Back to Maryland basketball.
On deck. It's not even the first pick.
Yeah, I know. On deck. Like you guys aren't even up. Does Maryland win?
They also threw
the oh,
the
okay.
graphic. Sorry, but
No,
the
you're
more
good.
you look into this graphic, the funnier it gets. They throw 5-time world champions in the graphic.
In the 2?
It's like big, bold, second overall pick, and then at the top, it's like there's an ad, and it says like NFL draft, Sanders, and then it says in little text, 5-time world champions. It's like when Ron Rivera in his exit statement was like, "We did win that one division."
You guys are what?
Yeah. Welcome,
So-
welcome to my life.
So you guys are what? 2-time and not NF like you guys are how are you guys 5-time world champions?
They won 2 championships in like the 30s.
Oh, didn't they like beat the
37
Bears?
and 42.
Didn't they beat the Bears like
Yeah, like 70 to something.
yeah. I guess you got that going for you.
Or that might have been the Bears that beat us.
Yeah, it's one of the two. I remember it was like one of the most
Wait,
lopsided games of all time. Yeah, it's from the 20s.
Century ago.
It's from the 20s. Oh, also before we go,
Slinging Sammy ball.
and I feel like I'm just rubbing it in, and I'm not trying to, but Michi got
It's okay.
player of the week, and Lamont got coach of the week. So like,
Oh, there you go.
we're looking feisty, and we're projected to make. We're projected to be a 6 seed in the tournament. I
just saw 11.
I had to take off my pants. I had to get nuance. A 6 seed. 6 seed, we're making noise. 6 seed, we're right there.
Yeah, let's just focus on getting in.
No, we're focusing on Bama right now. We're down 3-2. I didn't realize it started already. All right. I think that does it, right?
Yeah, that's gotta do it.
We're right on 2 hours. We're gonna have some cuts because of the internet stuff, but right on 2 hours.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you all for listening. Sorry it wasn't on live stream. I'm sure the 2 people who watch it live care. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you all on Friday. Friday at 5. This is the schedule, people. Tuesdays at 5, Fridays at 5. Easy peasy. Get your drinks for happy hour on Friday.